6 o'clock in the morning on a highway near Brussels. Truck driver Eric Gering has been on the road for 2 hours. His clients are expecting him that evening in London. He's been doing this trip for 15 years, twice a week. He says if Brexit takes place, his work routine could change radically.
There would be a lot more problems with the border checks. All the imports and exports would be subject to different laws. We'll need different permits. We'll have longer waiting times.
Eric has a video of how the traffic situation could look saved on his mobile phone. On his last trip, he encountered kilometre-long tailbacks on his way to England, caused by extensive customs checks even before Brexit. Eric is delivering food for Frankenberg, a company in North Rhine-Westphalia. It produces airline meals for caterers all over Europe. Frankenberg does up to 30% of its business with customers in Britain. The deliveries are closely timed. Punctuality is of the essence. For now, the paperwork is manageable. But in the event of a hard Brexit, that would change. And producers like Frankenberg could face far more challenging conditions.
We're bracing ourselves for an extreme impact on the supply chain. Longer delivery times, less flexibility, which is a very essential quality in our line of business. And for the midterm, we have to deal with questions of tariffs, important restrictions like what products can be imported at all, and if so, under what conditions.
The meals that are being loaded up now are already listed on in-flight menus. They need to be at London's Heathrow Airport by this time tomorrow. 13 tons of frozen meals, including chicken teriyaki and soups. Back to Eric Gering. He arrives in the French port of Dunkirk by mid-morning to catch the cross-channel ferry to Dover. But a few kilometers before the terminal, everything comes to a halt. Once again, French customs are to blame. The officials are worried they won't be able to handle the increased checks in the event of a hard Brexit. They're slowing down border checks to show what they may soon be facing, and that means lengthy delays.
Yeah, there's not much I can do about the ash right now. The French, they just delay everything. They had about 1,000 trucks yesterday waiting to get across.
Now it's stop and go. Eric has to sit it out. By evening, he's made little progress, and he doesn't expect to make it on board today. And all the remaining ferries are fully booked.
About 13 tons. 1-3, not 30, yeah? What time do we have departure? 4 o'clock. Oh my God.
Before he can board, he's got to pass customs. First the French, then the British. Cameras are not allowed during the checks. Eric has to wait about half an hour. Logistics companies are estimating that after Brexit, it'll take about this long for a truck to clear customs on the trip from the EU to Britain. Eric has to spend the night in a parking lot. Early the next morning, he finally drives onto the ferry after waiting about 17 hours in the port. Now he's running hopelessly behind schedule, and his next trip is at risk. He won't be able to complete this run until midday.
This is annoying. If this happens every time, it could really get to you. It takes way too much time, and it could cause problems with our permitted driving periods too.
At 6 a.m., the ferry finally approaches the British port. It's taken 24 hours to cover the distance from Brussels, about 200 kilometers. And if a hard Brexit occurs, that could become the norm.